Mad Men. Good choice. We'll give ours a little bit later. We'll give ours. I'm
I
curious
thought you was going to say Blossom.
I'm curious what George is going to say. Our
He's
next
going to
guest,
say
George
Blossom.
Abernathy, President Emerge. It's not the Nesson theme song. That can't be the best TV show theme song, at least if you've been watching the Sox in July or August. George, what happened? I got such a bad taste in my mouth.
They're ruining my summer. Come on. I mean,
dude.
it's awful. I mean, I got my Ted Williams ball to try to bring some level of. It's just like,
look at that.
Nothing is good going on, guys. The folks at EEI and they're ruining my summer is just horrible. I'm telling you, man, it's almost football season. Thank goodness.
Now, most alumni are usually welcome back here at Freight Alley, but this guy, Barry Carpenter, came back and he walked around the office giving people baseballs. And I'm like, oh, nice, a baseball. Then I look at it and it's a Billy Bean ball, George. Can you believe that? I kicked him out of here. I said, you got to go. And I threw it in the Tennessee River. So sorry for littering, sorry for polluting, but it's floating somewhere now.
I'm good. It's good. But I got to say, seeing the dude wearing the referee jersey brings back so many good memories, and the debates that have been had by, the bull and the bear. It's typically the bull and the buller, but nobody's been more bearish and accurate given what's been seen in FreightWaves data than some of the guys that help to analyze your data.
Yeah, it's been waiting in my desk just for this moment, George.
Yes, he was really excited when he saw you on the run sheet.
It looks good on you. You do a lot better. Hey, is it true that you guys are going to be allowed to do a What the Truck after dark? Do we need to have all small children and animals and pets be brought indoors? I mean, that scares the dickens out of me.
It's coming. It's coming at the end of the month. It's going to be a good time. Actually, if the guy's in the back, I forgot to put that in the asset folder. If you can find that picture, throw it in here.
I thought the restraining orders were out against you two being allowed after night. So.
As long as we have a guardian or a parent with us.
Well, George, we know what the Red Sox awful schedule says about them, but what does procurement say about what's happening in the economy? And the CPI numbers came out this morning too. So you're president at Emerge. What do you know about all that, George?
What's happening about it is volatility. You guys have seen it, but volatility is here to stay. I like to talk about if I'm speaking somewhere, I kind of make it a Vincent and I would love to do a drinking game, right? And if somebody says the new normal, take a shot. It's the newest normal. That volatility is here, and what we're seeing with regards to procurement, Dooner, is it's incredibly active. And so the volatility combining with the technology, the freight tech that a company like an Emerge can make available is allowing shippers and carriers to collaborate in this time frame to actually do things that are timely and hitting time frames that make sense. Some of my freight as a shipper, it may make sense to try to secure capacity for a couple of years. But I've got volatility happening in certain geographies, in certain markets that say that I should try to secure this for the next 3 months and see where I stand at that point. Then that's what I'm doing. So I would describe the activity level that we're seeing in certain markets as being extremely busy.
So what does this imply for the rest of the industry and the rest of the markets, George? This extreme activity that you see.
I think Michael. Am I allowed to call you Michael, or do I have to go with the dude? I remember when you were Michael.
On this show, I'm the dude, brother.
All right. I'll channel my Lebowski if I can.
There you go.
What I think it says on the market, and if you look at the different data as you guys do, certain industries, and this really goes back to, if you think about the pandemic, certain industries thrived and certain industries weren't, and you'll see that in what we're experiencing. A lot of pre-bid season activity happened with companies that were very busy, had a significant level of activity going, even with the economy taking a bit of a downturn. The freight recession is as Craig, had the early call on, there were certain markets that were still very active, and you saw a lot of activity there. And that's really, that's really a good idea. I'm taking advantage of what's going on in the supply and demand, and in certain areas where part of the economy, part of the freight areas may be in a slowdown, other areas are pretty perky. If I'm pretty perky and there's capacity out there, there's some level of supply that I can get my hands on, and I can potentially retain for a longer period of time or a shorter period of time, whichever makes sense for me, I'm taking advantage of that.
Wow. Well, George, drive-in rates, they have been flatlining since May. And that's better than, I guess, it collapsing from January to May.
That's true.
Yeah, but they've been in a sort of low-level holding pattern between, 190 and 199, and it's just been sitting there. But what will these inventory levels? We hear so much about it that retailers have too much inventory. So what will these inventory levels do to freight demand as we move into peak season?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think that really relates to what I was just talking about. You're seeing on the retail side, you're hearing about the inventory levels, but in other areas there is a very robust need for the equipment that we've got out there. So I think with that that depressed spot rate that just crashed so quickly, and the impact that had on those carriers, those small carriers that came about because the spot rate was so high, I think you're in for I guess I'd call it an electric bid season. I really do think you're going to see a lot of companies, even if my inventory levels are such that right now I'm in a pattern where my manufacturing's having to deal with that. I'm expecting for what's going to come around in 2023, and I've got to make sure that my capacity is in place. I'm seeing what's happening in the spot market. I understand what will happen when the wraparound occurs, and what we're seeing is those who are very busy in their transportation networks are bidding significantly. Lots of mini bids, lots of activity trying to secure that capacity. And even the folks that are sitting on some inventory are not sitting on the sidelines. They realize they've got to secure their capacity. And if they don't do so at this time frame where there's some opportunity to take advantage of that, and maybe those are the folks that'll look to do an annual bid. And that's where I think the electricity of the bid season is. It won't be the standard old best practices. It won't be that everybody's running an annual bid in the fourth quarter to try to take advantage of carriers in the first quarter. No, it'll be, and we're busy now, and we see an extraordinary amount of bids coming up between now and during bid season. And so I think that electric is the best word that I can use.
Now, George, and that's all really interesting. Really interesting to hear. Now, I can't wait to see you again, though. So I got a conference question for you, George. One of my favorite incidents at Fenway is the pizza thrower. When the guy took the pizza about 10 years ago and he threw it from a few rows over and it landed on the guy's shoulder. If we could have an incident like that happen at a freight conference, what would you like to see happen between two individuals?
Wow, that's a good one. So, well, I guess the thing that you'd have to decide is who are the two individuals, right? And then I decide on, what kind of thing would happen. And that's where the referee jersey is going to come in. I think it depends on where the conference is. And maybe that's something that we should do. If a FreightWaves conference, goes to Philadelphia, you get Bradford to go to Philadelphia. You take a cheesesteak and you throw it at somebody. If you're in Chicago, if it's in Chicago, it's an Italian beef sandwich, right? So, and just so you know, Dooner, my 25-year-old had the opportunity last night to go to his first game at Wrigley. In that balancing act between the Fenway and Wrigley, Fenway for ambiance and all the rest, though Wrigley has way more good seats.
Oh, yeah,
true.
That's true. You can get
Absolutely
some at Fenway. They're kind of angled at this odd angle, and your knees get crushed and everything like that. But I got to tell you something, believe it or not, that wasn't a stupid question that came up on the wheel. Can you?
It wasn't.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
no. Here's a stupid question. What is the greatest TV show theme song of all time?
Twofold answer. Well, I'm sorry, threefold answer for you. Some people don't subscribe to it, but when I hear the Sopranos theme song, I know it's the Sopranos coming on, but people aren't going to have it. The one from that I think is immediate generationally, and this again is our Boston roots Dooner, is Cheers. You can't hear the piano and not know that, but I got to say, the Brady Bunch was such an earworm that I guarantee you for the balance of the afternoon, you're going to think about, lovely ladies and all had hair of gold. So there you go. Three-pronged answer for you. And this
I lose the bet.
Stupid question.
I lose the bet.
What did you pick?
I thought he was going to say Benny Hill.
Oh, I thought he was going to say MASH. I have no idea. I thought he was going to go DuckTales, actually, because of his Disney background.
DuckTales.
The 80s DuckTales theme. That was a good one.
George,
George, people want to learn more, want to connect with you, want to connect with Emerge. Where do I send them to?
Well, obviously, G. Abernathy at emergemarket.com. Come to our website. You can find a lot of stuff there. We do a ton through LinkedIn, and we've got some really cool things coming up with regards to our benchmarking capabilities. And like I said, the bid activity is electric. So I appreciate it. It's always good to see you guys. We'll do the next one in person, and for you guys always. I appreciate it.
I got shirts and hats for you too. So next time I see you, or are you still in Chattanooga? Stop by the office. I'll give you some.
I am in Ottawa right now. You guys can probably hear the thunder in the background. So it's either moving my way or moving your way.
All right, George, we'll see you soon. Stop by. We'll make some arrangements. Take it easy, brother.
Take care, boys. See you soon.
Now, we were just talking about Boston, but this gentleman that we're going to talk to next, I think he may have spent some time in Cambridge. He went to MIT.